I'm doing this from my phone now because I don't know. Am I live or am I Magma Rex? Here, let me find out. Yep, here I am. Hello. What's up, Travis? Could you go to my other stream and check the or just post this link? Obviously, I did it again. I tend to do that a lot. So yeah, I screwed up a lot. Yeah, I switched places. I don't know what the hell is going on here, but the Zoom is funky at the moment. So I'm telling Jack to join us right now. Okay, so hopefully we're still good. Are we still good, folks? Are we still here? Oh, you don't know about the other one? My video keeps going out for some reason. I don't know what the hell's going on. I must have to stay on this one. I don't know. But hopefully Jack will be here soon. I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing. There we go. I am so sorry, guys. I'm just so frustrated right now with this whole. There we go. Okay, so I don't know. It says we're live, right? Well, we wanted to talk about reality and its impact and what it is, the implications thereof. Mike J, you aren't here again in picture anyway. What? Not on the picture. What do you mean? Weird. I don't know what is going on here. There it is. It was for a second. This is so stupid. It's full of nuts. It sure is. You guys can't see me, right? And I have no clue why. No clue whatsoever why. Hello? I don't know what the hell. Okay, I'm trying my computer again. I don't know where Jack is, but I'm trying, folks. I'm trying. Please forgive me. I don't think it's I don't know where he's at now. Whatever. Getting flustered. Ooh, looks like my computer is going to work for me. Something's been going on with my computer that and Zoom and everything. I mean, it's just weird. Just weird. There we go. Bear with me. Well, I should have did this with my computer long ago. Okay. Hey, you're gonna see two of me now. Maybe not. I don't know what everybody else has been experiencing, but the last couple days, there we go. Hello. Hello. Hi. I'm here. Yes, I made it. From Hamburg. What's up, Jeffrey Ball? How are you, buddy? There we go. Hey, hey, hey. What's up, Joyce? Are you serious? How are you? Grand Schlim higher. What's that mean? I just ate a payday and I can see you. Nice. Very nice. So, architect, how you been, buddy? What was that sound? That was the sound of me doubling up from my phone to my computer. And it was feeding off each other, you know, like the hysteresis loop or whatever, or the but Jack's here, you got on mute, bud. There you go. There he is.
How you doing, man? You
Finally
good?
go. Yeah.
You live already, yeah?
Yep.
Cool, man.
Yep. Very bad situation. That's what Gans Shim Hire means.
Gumshim higher.
Yeah, Jeffrey Ball.
I'm not on the chat. This computer's running slow enough, so I thought if I have another browser, if I have my browser open as well, it's all going to be too slow and crappy.
Right. Yeah, so I'm looking at chat on my phone, so forgive me if I'm looking down. I'm looking at the chat and seeing what anybody's saying or talking about. And with that, I want to introduce Jack. We've got Jack, who's got a channel. He's a researcher. He's a fellow esoteric spiritual seeker, light seeker, as such as myself. And he's got a channel, Frater Deus Est Veritas is the name of his channel, right?
Yeah. Everyone on here probably knows that already here. But well, how many have we got in the chat?
There's 8 people so far.
And we got a party. We got a party going on.
Would probably be more if I had my technical difficulties figured out.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, man. I spoke to you earlier, didn't I? I'm just, man, God, England sucks, dude. I swear. It's a really strange place. I never realized how strange it was till I left and came back, you know.
Yeah, it's
It's
weird how when you get a different perspective, how things.
yeah. No, it's true. I don't know if I'll be able to reintegrate with British society. I might have to just come back to America. Because also as well, like in America, like, you know, I was independent and I had a good job and I was doing things like all off my own blood, sweat, and tears. And now, like, back here, no job, no fucking car, living with my mum and dad. It's just like, oh, it sucks. I mean, it's nice, but it's not like reality. Do you know what I mean? It's not like real life.
Right.
Well, it's not. It's not that anyway, in a really deep sense. But
Which is a good way, a segue to the topic of today's show is reality and um, our perceptions and the impact thereof and what that entails.
yeah, I'll be honest though, Steve, man. I've been like, I've been quite down of late, and it's like I feel like I'm like over traumatized by the situation with Liz, my ex, you know, because it's been going on for so long and there's just no closure from it. It's all in suspension still, the whole thing. The tension hasn't resolved. So it's kind of been like it's like being a slow burner traumatic experience that still continues. So I think that's the main reason why I've been like dealing with it. And the worst thing as well is that every time I've tried to meditate, all I really feel is unprocessed emotional pain. But I'm continuously getting it, so I've got to continuously move it through, and I'm not doing that. So it just gets blocked up, you know, when you're under a lot of stress and emotional pain. But it's not healthy though. But it's the suffering of samsara, I guess, dude. I'd rather be in this state than fucking balling. Put it that way.
Lizzie's in chat and she's asking to keep her name out of your mouth.
Oh well, yeah.
Lizzie, can we just move on from this? Why are you here if you're going to be like that? There's no sense in it.
Just leave it, Steve. Just don't.
I mean, there's no really.
It's a very mysterious thing. The whole scenario. It's the severity of nature. That's what I've come to the conclusion. But in like quite far down the spectrum or to a very, not the spectrum's not the word I'm looking for, a very high degree of severity. It's extremely high degree of severity, and you struggle dealing with that. And like, but I mean, like, I'm not the only fucking one, Steve. There's plenty of people in this world that are currently going through incredibly difficult traumatic situations.
You ain't gotta tell me that, man. I yesterday I encountered that all over the place. Yes.
Yeah, I heard it in your voice when I spoke to you yesterday, dude. I could recognize it straight away. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like it. So like I've been listening to a lot of Alan Watt recently. Not Alan Watts, the New Age dude.
Mm-hmm.
Not him. Not him. And Alan Watts. He's like when the New Age. He was there when the New Age kind of started to ramp up in like what the 1960s and stuff like that. But I feel like the New Age is like a spiritual system that's been grafted on to other spiritual systems in a like inorganic sense, because there's just so much New Age bullshit out there. Do you know what I mean? Sorry if like I'm being brash, but it's
well,
really,
we can't really label things as this or that, I guess. But yeah,
there's a lot of like I find there's a lot of useless information in it, but I do find there's some harmful information as well in like the New Age. We've discussed.
There's harmful information everywhere, though, buddy.
What in the
everywhere?
Well, you could look
everywhere
at like
in the world, everywhere.
No, it's true.
I've
Yeah,
propagated some in the past, I'm sure,
yeah.
you know. And what is it? What is information? What is the information ecology as far as perception and reality? I mean, what
Mm,
dictates our reality? In essence, it's our perception, right?
mm,
It's what we see and what we think we see. Correct?
mm.
That is what reality is.
With respect to the Earth plane, though, I do see like a huge chaotic mess of very, I don't know, it seems, but is that, I don't know, is that an illusion though, or is that actually real? I mean, it is chaotic here, but I mean, like, it's almost just like chaos flickering in and out of existence, not in the primordial sense, but yeah, this is what I've come to the conclusion. Actually, like, this is the problem why I'm struggling to reintegrate. I think living back in Britain again, I find that the propaganda and the media are ferociously evil, and being unplugged from the British media for all that time, and then coming back and like it's weird, Steve. I don't know what the word in the English language is. I don't think there's a word in the English language to describe like the thought, but it's like let me describe it this way. You know, like how so commonly you know the phrase you make your bed and you lie in it, right? So
Mhm.
like here now, you don't have to make your bed. Experts will make your bed for you and they'll tell you what you need to do to make your bed in the correct way. Basically, Steve, Britain's like a fucking it's like a communist country now. That's the way, that's what I'm seeing here.
Well, didn't all
And
that start with you guys allowing them to put CCTV cameras everywhere?
well, it's yeah, that's in central London. Yeah, apparent. Yeah.
I hear it's everywhere there.
Oh God, London, you're on film like so much during like yeah. I
How
mean,
far from London
it's
are you?
surveillance state, isn't it? How
How,
far am I from central London?
yeah.
I got to drive north about 18 miles, and then I'd be right in the belly of the beast.
Have you gotten a hold of Phil yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't. I should do, but I don't know. I'm just trying to sort my own head out at the moment, Steve. You know, I'm trying to like focus on myself, but it seems I can't explain it. I can't explain what it's like to try and have to re-assimilate into an old situation, but to be unable to do it. It's weird. It's very
Right. You
strange.
mean the readjustment back to what you used to consider normal?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I find in British society, it's increasingly stifling um, the individual. In the heat is being turned up on the individual. You know, no one will leave you alone. It's it's
Do you
not
think
like
all of this chaos and in especially in your shoes, what's going on in your life, do you think all of this is put before us for a reason? Do you think this is
yeah.
how we will change or learn that spirit is worth more than the matter that we think we are?
Well, I think you just answered your own question with that statement
Yeah.
because to me it seems like the sheer utter just nonsense of like there's the geopolitical clown show with the agendas which are just nonsensical, and it's almost as if like reality is trying to tell you as much as it possibly can like look, this is kind of illusory, there's something beyond this reality. Our very own reality is telling us that, I feel.
Right.
And yeah, it's
So how do you think you as an individual can change your mindset and rise above what is
Well,
bringing you down and whatnot?
it's not essentially changing my mindset so much. It's like you have to accept
What is
it.
all that noise? God.
There's a racket out there.
Yeah, well, they're rapping on the wall. It's my kids digging for something.
Oh,
Sorry.
right. It's all right, man. What's my train of thought? I forgot what I was saying. So,
You,
like,
you were saying it's not so much your mindset, it's
no, it's just recognition of what is and how the material plane interacts with the spiritual plane, and it's I don't know. I gotta be careful here in this assessment because it's not that I'm cynical or like hateful or envious or bitter towards reality. It's not that I'm bitter towards to reality. I'm just trying to understand like what the lesson is in the trauma. You know, what really is it? What am I trying to achieve from this experience? Like by the end of it, you know, it's difficult to like, you know, as soon as I think, well, I feel differently in 10 years, it does kind of arrest it, you know. But I don't know. It is what it
yeah,
is.
you're
It's just
glitching
my
right now.
internet's unstable. But I think that is the point, Steve, is that there's definitely like an information almost feedback back to like the psyche that is it shows you little clues and little pieces of evidence that there's something beyond physical reality. Do you know what I mean?
Right. And there's a lot of people in chat right now. I'm going to say hello to everybody. There's 19
Yeah, go
here.
for it.
We've got Thoth and Mon. Crunchy B, what's up? Crunchy B says he's kind of bitter. Jeffrey Ball, he says we're fucked. Cayman 830 says Brexit, the British got out Exodus. Scotty Boy, the cameras have been here for years. Yes. Jay Blaze 4201, what's up, brother? Haven't seen you for a while. Robert Francis, love forgives, the forgiven forgive, peace and love all be. Good message. Who else we got? We got Liz. Steve has great guests. No hate. One love for you and your family. Same to you, Liz. Who else we got? Travis the Brick, the architect, and Lucky Stone. And I appreciate everybody here being here, part of our reality. And this reality at the moment, in our physical sense, is kind of effed, and we all know that. So how can we make that better? You know, really, we cannot change anybody else but ourselves. So how can we change our thinking towards what our perceptions are?
I think this is the point from all of this. Even if you look at the you know, I'm starting to realize that history and the zeitgeist, it doesn't strictly come to be organically. There's a lot of hidden planning and occult kind of it still is occultism at the end of the day, because bringing something from the mind into physical manifestation, it is magic itself, you know. So it's just, I guess you start to understand it's just the way things are, you know. I almost feel like there's almost like two human races side by side. You know, there's a pathological evil consciousness in humanity, and then there's, you know, most people, and then on the other end of that there's the angelic consciousness as well, you know. So
right.
definitely.
Taltaban says actions cause changes, not thinking. But what are actions born from?
All right, yeah, no, I want to answer him. It's like I'm talking like planning to like have a 30-year war in the Middle East and then going ahead and doing it. Like I'm thinking kind of long-term zeitgeist here. So rather than thinking of like what's in the news this week, next week, I'm trying to pull back and look at the whole of history and how it's shaped and how the winners told the story. And it seems like it's I don't know. It's just very strange. I think how the world manifests itself in terms of it's the ones that are really like seeking power and like great wealth and all that are like have the most influence in the physical domain. Do you know what I mean?
Right, right.
In terms of physical, and it's not. Oh, this was the other point as well, dude. This is another segue into a thought I saw the other day, right? So like, if you go on any Elon Musk video on YouTube, you get those Elon Musk motivational videos with the soppy music about all of, and if you read the comments in any Elon Musk video, like that guy is so revered by so many people. He's almost like undergoing some kind of deification. And when I look at Elon Musk, all I hear is Krishna saying, in Kali Yuga, men of great wealth are mistaken of men of great wisdom. And I don't think he's very wise at all. Like, I really don't.
Who, Elon Musk?
No, I think he's highly psychopathic. And I think it's weird as well. Like, because his uncle was the leader of, or the founder of the South African Communist Party. And his dad was like a real rich mine owner. I don't know if it was in Rhodesia or South Africa or Zimbabwe, you call it now. So like, there's a dispute over if he actually did create PayPal or something like that. I don't know. The guy's got a dodgy history, but yeah, I don't know. But I see a man of great wealth being mistaken for a man of great wisdom. And same with Bill Gates as well. But Bill Gates is kind of not so marketable to the millennial generation. Like, Elon Musk smoked weed on Joe Rogan. He's really cool dude, blah, blah. He sends rockets into space. And it, like, that
sends cars to Mars.
That is pretty cool. You can't like knock him, but he's pushing the climate change nonsense, which is the, just sustainability is code for depopulation. That's the thing. Unfortunately, there's, I really believe the whole point.
You've been watching a lot of rabbit hole videos.
Well, but here's the point. I really believe, Steve, that going down the conspiracy rabbit hole, I mean, I'm probably a bit paranoid anyway in my natural state, to some degree, but so maybe that's why I perceive it more. But it's like you can just tell what's going to happen in the future. Maybe it's like a form of being psychic, why you're so fucked up over the zeitgeist, because it's just one theory. I'm throwing it out there. But right. My point is this. You can peel back. But
energy goes where thoughts flow, or energy flows where thoughts go, right? Or whatever that saying is.
So what I'm trying to achieve here, I'm trying to peel back like the kind of microscope and look in like the telescope at the bigger picture, right? And like see the patterns in history. So I'm trying to recognize I'm trying to start to recognize how archetypal patterns interplay throughout history. That's really what the gift of futurity is. Like if you think of the Oracle of Delphi, it's recognition of archetypes and
Well, the Oracle of Delphi was a lady that sat in a cave and inhaled noxious fumes and gave everybody predictions, right?
Yeah, I was using it though, it just as an example of like futurity and the
Yeah.
ability to see what's coming, but it's not really an ability to see what's coming. You just have to look at what all the people with the most wealth publish stuff about, and then it starts to happen. And this is my point. It's like it's all happening because you're supposed to be gaining wisdom from the understanding of it all, looking at history like close in, and then the bigger picture, and understand how it like what's the point of that? Like what can you learn from that as an individual, you know, on trying to figure out what the truth is, you know, because all I see now when I see it history is like a near enough an eternity of archetypes, which are like eternal creatures or the eternal ones that the Nag Hammadi describes them as well as the seven kingdoms. And then, yeah, they're always like changing, but just changing form, you know. It's like the weather almost, how it's always changing, but it's always kind of just taking different form. It's the same thing though, in different forms. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like no two clouds are the same, no two snowflakes are the same. God, even snowflake, that word conjures up something very different.
Yeah, to me it
You
does
know
too.
what I mean?
Yeah, you don't
God,
want to melt because, yeah.
yeah.
Don't think
Since
for yourself. You'll lose the art of thinking. That's what Cayman 830 says.
don't think for myself.
You'll lose the art of thinking.
I don't.
I don't know what reference
That's
that's.
quite paradoxical, though, isn't it?
What up, Chris
I know I
Kane
can
in
have
Chicago? How
experts
you
do
doing,
it
brother?
for me. It's fine. Yeah, I don't need to think anymore. I can just watch the BBC, and all the experts they have on will tell me everything that is utterly, infallibly, ineffably true.
Yeah.
So, you know. But no, I was reading Bertrand Russell because he was like he was a critic of Plato, and I was like, but he was like really only a critic in Plato in terms of his ideas for like the state's management of the fucking feud, what do they call them, the peasants and stuff like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's very bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, the whole thing is very bizarre. And you know, the stress on everybody right now is just a tremendous, tremendous mountain to overcome when you can sense it everywhere you go in public. Yesterday I was looking for car parts, or you know, just brake lines and something minor for a car, and I got kicked out of an AutoZone because this lady would not
Why?
stop.
How can you
Because
get
I was
kicked out
acting
of an
like
AutoZone?
I acted like a clown, because you know I was like, I walked into this auto parts store, the first one I went to. The guy told me that he didn't have the part, but I wasn't listening because I was
Yeah.
I don't know, I was paying attention to some other guy next to me or whatever. I don't know why wasn't listening, but that ended bad when he said he didn't have the part. The second time I said, what? And he looked like he was about to snap on me. And I'm like, whoa, calm down, dude. You know, and I just walked out the door. I'm like, you know, just calm down. And a guy made a comment as I was leaving saying, you know, people are at their wits' end right now. And I said, yeah. And this was an old guy that had a mask on, and, you know, and he got budged in front of, and he was kind of upset himself. But I go to the second one, to the second auto parts store. Well, these auto parts stores, they let you go in the back to pick out the parts you need out of the brake aisle, you know, these lines and the length of line you need and everything. Well, this particular lady didn't want to let me in the back. And she had this power trip about her, you know, or something was going on. And me and her, you know, and I was nice to her at first. And I, you know, and I should have continued to be nice, but I obviously wasn't, because she ended up kicking me out. I got kicked out of a fucking auto parts store, excuse my French, which was the silliest thing that's ever happened to me. But so I go into the third one, and I convinced myself I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm not going to, you know, well, I sit in there for a good 15 minutes waiting to be helped. I'm finally helped, and it ended well. And, you know, I had a laugh with the guy, and the guy said, right before, you know, I told him the whole story and everything. And I said, well, maybe he said, well, maybe it was you. And I looked at him and I laughed and I said, you're probably right.
Mm,
And that was my whole lesson for the day. And to top it off, I was working on my mom's car, and my mom and I have been butting heads lately about, some corrections that you know, our relationship needs to heal. And all that got worked out yesterday. So, I mean, it was a freaking day of just immense emotion,
mm,
and it was only, it wasn't all day. It was only a couple hours, but it was pretty
mm,
much my own doing, because of my behavior, my
mm,
perception of what somebody else was acting like, when I could have just been calm, cool, and collected. But,
mm.
you know,
Yeah, the stress of buying used car or just car parts and stuff. But yeah, man, yeah, I've been feeling stressed as well. I don't know what it is. It just, I don't know. Life's just difficult, I guess. Teaches you hard lessons, you know.
and
But
I
here's the
think
thing. Here's another point, Steve. So this is what I'm going to say. Like, I don't really like. I find like now I'm here living at my parents' house. I find it incredibly difficult to like motivate myself to like just earn cash so I can have cash and like buy stuff. It's like, well, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I just see through it. It's I don't understand like how money is just constantly massively debased, and yet it puts the it does put the squeeze on everyone in our life. Like everything's always going up in price because there's constant debasement of the currency. It really puts people under stress. That does over time, you know.
right.
But yeah, no, it's very fake. I see through the system. It's like the dragon's ugly head. It's like I found the Wizard of Oz with his fucking machine. Obviously the Wizard of Oz, the wizard's really the Logos, right? Of course, in the Ascension.
Hmm.
Now, ever wondered why they called it Emerald City?
Because green is the color of balance, right?
Um, I don't know. Depends what system.
That's why
I guess.
Osiris was green.
I know nature has like green. Venus is green in Kabbalah or Netzach. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the two Sephiroth at the bottom of the tree, the victory and Hod is glory. They're very like they're two like really beautiful words. They are victory and glory. But obviously it's like victory of like over creation, and then the glory of God and the glory of the truth, etc.
Hmm.
I don't know why I started talking about that.
Well, that's why the tree or the truth will set you free, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, you kind of have to
Yvonne
go.
Gordon's in the house. How are you doing, sweetheart? Men's is in the house. How you doing, bud? Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's all right, man. I was like, you do have to look. We're all a victim of our own bullshit in this world. You like everyone is to a certain degree. I mean, I know I'm a victim of my own bullshit, but also, and I'm not playing the victim card, and like, I'm not like out for sympathy. I'm kind of like need compassion to like from others to understand that like the system of like governance that we've lived in here, it's extremely well on me. It's just I don't know. I don't have Stockholm syndrome. Put it that way. I haven't fallen in love with my captors, at all. But but I guess they're here to teach me some kind of wisdom.
Well, I think the point is that we got to come up smelling like roses out of the shit show that we see. Yeah.
Yeah, in a spiritual sense, but God
Yeah.
no. You know, I was thinking, man, if I'd be a CEO, I'd have to like be a. If I was, see, Lizzie keeps calling me a psychopath, and I'm starting to realize that if I was a psychopath, I'd be fucking balling. I would be loaded. Think about it. You just do anything, you wouldn't care. So, you know.
So you think money would be the cure for all your ills, is what you're saying?
No, money's not the cure for anything for my ails. No, it's not. I'm saying that, you know, if I was a psychopath, I'd be totally balling. You know, I think
Oh, okay. So you
that's
mean
what I was saying. You know,
okay, yeah, I got you.
and I
My bad.
just, you know, the titles, the social status, that seems like such an illusion to me now. Social status and stuff like that. And lo and behold, we're at the precipice of social credit scores. Like, people have got to say no to this fucking shit, Steve. And like the whole cashless thing, people again have to be like, no,
It's like
you got,
religion, bro. Religion's there, whether it's right or wrong. It's there to teach
yeah.
us the way to the source. You know, I
Well,
mean,
this is what I'm on about is the state usurp it. At least the good thing about religion is that a transcendent thing beyond our reality is held as the highest thing in the world, and so it should be. That which is transcendent and ineffable is greater. It's very easy to logically figure that out, but you know, it's like the state is God in Britain. It's so atheistic here. The church attendances are less than 5%. They had a bit of resurgence when a lot of the Polish people moved here. But mate, you know, Christians, they might not be mystics, but you know, it's good to still have them around, you know, with their piety, however they express
well,
it in
yeah,
their Christian
piousness
way,
is lacking in this world, and the more
you
people that
know.
are pious
Yeah.
is going to help.
Yeah, they still do a job as a collective, I'd say.
Faith has its purpose. Yes.
Well, they've been, but you know, I still think they've been fucking let down. Like, you know, the church should have, if the church had any backbone, they would say, this is bullshit. You can't stop us having services because of this nonsense zeitgeist, you know. And I was up at the church up my road the other day, and they had the mask sign, you must wear a mask to enter a church, and the little QR code you can scan to say, oh, look, I'm so good, government. I'm letting you know where I am right now, blah, blah, blah. Let's keep us all safe. Like, it's such nonsense.
Do you think all of this nonsense that you're talking about is born through people talking about it, though?
No. What I mean is what I think is, I think the law of mentalism is actually being used against the masses. I think.
Well, yeah, obviously that's what the
I
news
think
is.
all the hermetic laws are being, people are being manipulated through all
Do you
those
think that's a
hermetic laws.
purposeful thing by some people that know what they're doing, or do you think it's just an
Well, yeah,
ego that's running amok?
well, this is the thing. I watched, like, you know, the TV soaps. We have like this
Soap
shit
operas,
show
yes.
called, people British in the chat will know, but this
I used to
real
watch soap
shit
operas
show.
with my mom when I was younger.
Yeah, cool. It's called EastEnders, and like it's like a psychological program operation, that show, because I recognized, I watched it, and this girl was like, didn't want to have a vaccine, and they were like, oh, I don't know if it was about that, but they had another thing where they criticized, like, someone didn't want the jab in the show, and they like ridicule her and go, oh, well, you ain't got a PhD, you're not an expert.
Well, right,
And
that's what's going
I've
on
had
right now, right?
a few people ask me this. They were like, oh, have you blah blah got your, you know, needlecraft jab thing? And I was like, no. And like, people were like, oh, so you know better than the experts, do you? I've heard that a few times, the same condition response. And God, I didn't fucking hear anyone say that to me in America, but I've heard a few people say it to me, like, "Oh, so you know better, don't you? You're better than the Institute of Science. You're an egotistical motherfucker putting everyone in danger." That's the kind of shit you hear, and you're just like, wow.
Well, that has no bearing now because there's proof now that whether you've had it or not, you're gonna have the same viral load and still transmit it the same. So
I've given up on all that. I think,
right, but I mean,
well, in
all of
terms of
that's
the code,
invalidated, and
yeah,
the point of it is that all of this shit is here to divide us, so we realize that division is not the way to be. In my
yeah.
opinion, that's what
I
I think
mean,
it is.
well, it's a there's a recognition from that I have that in Britain the state is definitely always after more power and authority. It's that way here, and this is the thing. I see like the even in the TV as well. Like when you watch the BBC, if you've got a very strong psychic self-defense, Jesus, you need a strong psychic self-defense to watch BBC because they're very manipulative. They slip things in there. And I swear this is all being done by design, like NLP, basically psychological manipulation. Yeah, the government the state in Britain is waging a psychological war against its own people here. That's why I'm struggling to reintegrate back into British society. Now it's happening in America as well.
Yes,
But
it
it's
is.
so polarized in America, you can just see the polarity of it and ignore it. Both left and right are moving perfectly in unison. And the same actually in America. This is another thing I realized, Steve. Like the left and right are just doing the exact same thing. You know, they're just there's and any president that's tried to actually make their own decisions, like Reagan and Trump, they fucking try to kill Reagan, didn't they?
Well,
He took a
they're all
bullet, didn't
just
he?
puppets anyway. It doesn't matter. I mean, the whole thing is just a shit show. And, it's, if everything is one, in my opinion, this is how I see it. If everything is one, we have one soul, we have one ego, we have one reality. As far as in the end, that's where we'll end up with one reality. But right now, as we stand, we are individual perspectives of that one reality. And each of us sees that one reality through a set of lenses that has been preordained or indoctrinated with whatever we've let in, and whatever we've come to believe, assimilate to, or, and this is the fallen state that we are in, and the fallen have to rise again. And this is the process of coming back to ourselves, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that's what
I
life is
do
about, the
see.
process.
I do recognize though there are individuals in this reality that seem to be falling further into the realms of separation.
Yvonne just pretty much said the same thing I did as I was saying it. It was weird. That's weird.
I think I'm on the wrong page, dude. Yeah, I'm on the wrong chat.
You're on the first one or the second one?
Yeah, I'm on the first one, so I'm not interacting with chat or anything, but it's whatever. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not like Jesus, I'm not going to hang myself because the world's a messed up place. I'm not in that kind of state, but I believe to truly understand the zeitgeist and how it's shifted and moved about, and the historical agenda which started thousands of years ago, which continues into the future. It's almost like everyone has to go through this shit. It's like you come into the cosmos. Yeah, I've got a theory as well. I think a lot of other planets are probably a mess in the cosmos as well. If this one is, then there must be others. We mustn't be alone. Must be other planets where there's a two types of consciousness in one species. Like, you know, it makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
Do you have conkers in Minnesota?
Do we have what?
Conkers, the little seeds for trees that fall on the ground? What trees are they from conkers?
Acorns
Are they acorns?
or walnuts or
Maybe
chestnuts?
is it walnuts? Maybe it's walnuts or chestnuts, and kids drill a hole through them and try and smash them. But anyway, there's an outer shell of them, and I walked past, I was walking the dog the other day, and one had fallen on the floor, and it's like a sphere with all these tiny little spikes evenly distributed on it coming out of it. I walked past it and I was like, hold on, like that could be a giant COVID particle or something like that. Like, when I looked at it, I immediately saw how, wow, the whole virus shape probably is that mini shape that you see, because I'm seeing it on a macro here, the same geometry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to get this out real quick here. Just pardon me, Jeffrey. We are beyond the flat earther here. Okay. I mean, the flat earth doesn't matter none to me. It doesn't matter if we're on a fucking ball, if we're in a fridge, or if we're in a fucking pickle jar, because we're all here together. Get over it, get on with it, because it doesn't matter. What does it matter? It doesn't. It really doesn't, because we're here together. You know,
well, I don't think the Earth's flat anyway at all.
it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter to me.
But I'm sure you can measure it though. You can measure the curvature.
But it doesn't matter.
Oh, I had this debate with a flat earther. He was talking about
Seriously.
well, this is the thing though. He was talking about
and how can you have natural immunity to a common cold? You can't. There's no way of getting natural immunity to the coronavirus, guys.
There you are. Let it out, Steve. Let out none. Frustration.
There is no way.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's good to get off
this herd immunity bullshit is bullshit. It's a virus. Well,
I yeah. You know, herd him. I don't know. It's the statement though. It's like what, we're herd like cattle or something.
Well, that doesn't matter to me either, that label. But I mean, herd immunity just means that, you know, everybody's going to be immune to it. But that's going to be impossible because it's a coronavirus. Every coronavirus is a freaking cold or a flu. And it's still here. It's an endemic now. And it's going to be. Sorry for me getting frustrated. But I mean, people are just...
That's the thing. I don't blame you for getting frustrated at all, man. The whole thing has been really bizarre. The whole thing has been very nonsensical, and I could understand if, like, you know, there was like a unilateral scientific movement to get to the truth of the matter. However, science was politicized again in COVID.
This is exactly what the issue is politics is mixing with science. And
well, this is
the push in church and state and all that shit.
Well, yeah, you've got, so look at the competing, so you've got God, okay? So on this, in the collective human plane, competing with God is science, the state, even people that like go around like actually thinking they're God, like there's the grandiose types as well.
The self-proclaimed messiahs.
Oh yeah, a lot of them are like schizophrenic though, and they're in the middle of a massive episode when that happens because they're hearing voices and stuff. I knew some guy who like fucking, he took like acid and like he like went down to like, he was by the sea and he went to this harbor and like tried to like walk on the water and shit and like nearly drowned and ended up getting institutionalized, like only briefly. But yeah, no, there's competing for the highest ideal in the mind of the individual, you know. I still do think the individual is more important than the group as well. Definitely. I definitely think that's the case. Because the
Well, Free
group
Press
can't
makes
do.
a good point right here. What we were just talking about the flat Earth. The Jesuits
Oh,
were
what?
the Jesuits were the ones, or there was a group that actually pushed for that. So people were afraid to go take their profits for their spice route that they were, they were telling people that the Earth was flat, so they would be fearful of falling off the edge of it if they were to sail across the ocean. So
Probably
yes,
a control mechanism.
yes,
But
I agree with
yeah,
that.
no, because I was debating this guy who was talking about these big scale like Department of Agriculture surveys that they do. And the guy was explaining that the survey's always off and the math doesn't work. And I said, like, well, you got to use, like, it's called triple integrals for measuring the area on a sphere. I was like, are you doing standard trig or are you doing triple integrals? And he looked at it, well, he didn't look at me, but he then started denying that he then started saying what I was saying was bullshit. And that's when I like knew I had him. I was like, but yeah, flat earth is just, this is the trouble with truthers, and flat earthers are an example of this. That people are too credulous and too quick to jump a gun and believe things that are outside of the mainstream media in the alternative community.
Well, this is what brought me to where I am today, is believing things that are outside of the mainstream media as far as the Nibiru thing. And it turns out that the Nibiru thing was actually a story of our hero's journey that we are beset to all
Right. Yeah.
take.
But yeah, there's wacky things out there, isn't there? There's like Scientology, flat Earth. But I think Phil said, if you believe in flat Earth, you really need to sort your head out. He said something like that, and
It really doesn't matter to me whether or not it's flat or not, because it doesn't control my daily life. I mean, whether we're on a carpet, in a fridge, in a jar, on fleas back, it matters not, because we are all here together putting up with the same bullshit, same people, same thing. So why argue about what we're on? It's like two meth heads saying they got better shit, or two, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I mean, what does it matter to the meth head if they got better shit or not, if they're both high? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
yeah. No, if there's,
I mean, if you're a flat earther and I'm a round baller, what the hell does it, where is it going to get us in the end arguing about it?
globetards, they call you.
It's not going to get us anywhere.
You're a globetard,
Nowhere.
Steve.
What?
I guess I'm a globetard as well then.
Well,
But
I don't want
then
to. I don't
again,
want to say anybody that thinks the flat Earth is dumb either, because I've thought Nibiru was in the sky right above me for 4 years. But that was because I had this innate sense in me that word meant something, and I never did the research until 4 years later when I finally said, "Well, maybe I should look it up and find out what it means." So that was my own
yeah.
delusion. But I'm not saying that's wrong either, because every rabbit hole
Who knows,
is
man? Maybe there was a giant object came and went from the solar system during
very
that
well
time.
could have been. But I mean, I think
Maybe you would. Yeah, who knows?
I think every one of these rabbit holes, including the Mandela effect, including flat Earth, including all of it, the whole zeitgeist, everything is here for us to measure up against and to overcome. Everything.
Well, this is
That
it.
is the reason why we are here.
Yeah. Well, this is it, Steve. Freedom has to be in reference to something. You can't just be free. You got to be free. You have to be free in reference to something that is toil and difficult and almost the tyranny of the world, the tyranny of nature, not the narcissistic quality of creation itself. We got to deal with that. It's
well, it's not really narcissist. It's indifferent.
No, I didn't mean like, I mean like in the Yaldabaoth sense.
Yeah, it's an indifferent rating, truth. I mean, life is truth. As far as physical, we're all gonna die. Get over it. Get busy living or get busy dying, right?
But it's like we're on a quest, though, aren't we?
Yes.
Really, you're here on a quest. You're here on a like spiritual quest. That's the ultimate purpose of life.
To overcome every and all obstacles and hurdles in your way.
Yeah.
Whether that be in your own made up, self-made imagination or somebody else's bullshit that you've let in.
Yeah, no, you still do get tested by the external world regularly.
I think you do, no matter if you're closer to the light or not.
Yeah, no, of course.
It probably gets harder.
I don't know. Who knows? I mean, everyone has to deal with physical reality, you know, and other people's nonsense and your own nonsense and your own, you know, your like neurotic thoughts we have and stuff. Steve, I just need you to run to the bar. I'll be right back.
Oh, good. Crunchy B, the point of flat earth is to know that we are God's center of attention, that we matter. If there's other planets, it makes us feel small and unimportant. The fact of what you said there, we are the center of each of our universes. You know, we are the center of, I am the center of my universe. You are the center of yours. For that is what it's all about. Because we define what we are as far as through a visual sense, physical sense, yet we come to know that is what we aren't, if that makes sense. But we are the center of our own universe. That makes us the singularity within the whole. We are all singularities within the whole. We are like drops of water in an ocean. You know, just because it's a drop doesn't make it different from the water that's there, you know, or magnetism, you know, or a magnet, I mean, or the holographic principle, you know, all of that stuff, where if you break a hologram up into 1,000,000 pieces or 100,000 pieces, whatever it is, whatever, the image will depreciate, but it still will be an image of the whole, just at a lesser magnitude. And that's what we are. We are of the one, trying to find our way back to that one. Right? You know, and what's the first rule of AA? Accept the things, or no, admit you have a problem. What? Right? Admit you have a problem. We are connected at the center. When you remember who and what you are, then you know why. Yes.
I think flat Earth's a straight up psyop, dude. I swear, it's just a straight up.
Well, you can see now that is the true free will we have in every decision and every word and everything that we decide to run with, is whether we decide to latch on to this or latch on to that, or say this is right and that is wrong. Me, I'm trying to just, you know, just not
put it this way.
And not being frustrated these days is getting very hard.
No, it is. Yeah, of course. It is. Life's challenging, man. The whole, I don't know, the whole idea of trying to earn loads of money to buy loads of nice fucking shit. The idea that to be an entrepreneur is the pursuit of freedom. I totally like disagree with all of that. Now, I don't think that's like an accurate way of being in terms of like spiritualization. I don't know. I just can't. I find it so hard to motivate myself over money now, because I don't know. It doesn't have much value to me, really, apart from keeping me alive to do the great work. So that's what Phil said, actually, didn't he? He was talking about money and how it's his last video was very good, actually.
They're all good.
I only watched it once. I should watch it again.
It totally makes your mind just
feels like but with Phil as well, I try to like take what he has and like investigate it myself, you know.
Everything he says makes perfect sense to me.
Mm.
You know, there's a couple things where like what the hell, I can't even remember what it was that I thought twice about, but you know, I'm thankful to have people like him and Yvonne and others that I can, you know, converse with and you
Yeah, there
and
must be
everybody here in
more.
chat. You know, I
There must be.
appreciate every one of you.
There must be
That
like
that
more people out there. There must be more like um ascended beings out there, you know. And
you know, that's the reason why Phil went on YouTube, he said, was to find.
yeah, I still I don't know. There's a lot of like new. I don't know, man. I think the whole. I get this feeling that a bunch of people sitting around the table in 1950 said, or even before that, said we need to like produce some kind of hallucinogenic drug, make people get into all this music and all this hippie shit, and we'll start a new religion. It was almost like an attempt to create a new religion, but obviously, I think the only successful religions are ones that are about like enlightenment. Well, they're all about that, but like ones that came to be through someone's own enlightenment. Do you know what I mean? Like the whole Jesus thing, or Christian Rosencreutz for like Rosicrucians, or then there's Zoroastrians as well. That's a cool religion. I really like that religion.
Zoroastrianism.
Yeah,
You
Zoroastrians.
know,
Yeah,
they're all pretty much saying the same story in my, you know, it's obvious actually. You know, it's
yeah,
just through different cultural lenses and different perspectives.
yeah. Freemasonry could be considered one as well.
Well,
Although,
they're
like,
all, you know, they were all probably started in a good intent. It's like people go off on about the Anunnaki, you know, and how they became rulers and deities of their cities and self-proclaimed this or that. Well, sure, you know, anybody with loads and ass loads of money is gonna let that get a hold of their ego, like Akhenaten, you know. You know,
yeah, but
who's to say that he didn't start out with good intentions? You know, but this is the problem with our society and our egoism, is that we just let it run and we don't even check it because we think that we have all the answers when we have money, security, comfort. You know, we think we know everything, you know, and that's just the problem with what we are as a society. We think that the status quo is the way to go. You getting tired, Jack?
no, I'm not getting tired. I was pondering on what you just said. The status quo is the way to go, and I mean, yeah, it's. I see over the coming centuries, definitely it becoming life becoming increasingly more difficult for like the mystic, and you know,
And people are saying
maybe it'll
don't
get easier. I don't know actually.
people are saying don't watch TV. It doesn't matter if you watch TV at this moment because there's only a certain amount of people that are away from that mindset. You know, there
Yeah.
needs to be change within us each in our own thinking, and before we can change anything on the outside, in my opinion.
Yeah, like the idea of like going to protest or joining some
Yeah.
activist group just seems like utter nonsense if you want
Well,
to.
it'll just exacerbate the situation.
Yeah,
That's what that's what's happened. You know, when the Floyd thing happened here, what happened here? People were out there protesting. It turned into a fucking riot, turned into a looting fest, and
yeah,
it turned into a 4-day get your Nikes at the local Foot Locker before it burns down fest. And that is the nature of a irate, chaotic mindset in a human. You
yeah.
know,
But remember, when the riot takes place, it's a mob, isn't it? If I was in a mob of people mobbing about, I'd probably end up joining in the mobbing. It's, well, depends, but I don't know. Yeah, I just, here's what I realized as well, Steve. People think the government's incompetent, and it's like really, it's just really incompetent. It can't get anything done. Blah blah blah. That's if, like, you have the notion that the government serves the general public. The government doesn't serve the general public. They're last in the pecking order. It serves central banks and, the biggest corporations and the lobbyists first and foremost. That's their job, to implement laws for those people above. The government is almost just the PR system of the ruling class. That's really all
Well,
it
they're
is.
the puppets for the MFers of the world, the money funders. Yes.
Government's like PR, and
Well, they're the buffer between the public and the aristocrat.
yeah, definitely. But
that doesn't matter to somebody that is seeking enlightenment, because none of that can stop you. None of it.
But
It actually can enhance your ability to get there, because you can overcome that or ignore it, and not ignore it, but overcome it.
You got to be honest about the feelings it evokes in you, though.
Well, it's obvious right here, right now, isn't it?
No, but so, like, what I was just going to say as well about, I had another point. So, like, I don't know, I think it's part of the whole spiritualization process to, realize that the two-party system is two sides of the same coin, and if I vote for either one of them, it ain't going to make a fucking blind bit of difference to how the ship of the zeitgeist is moving in its direction. It's not going to make a blind.
Who pushes that, though? I mean, is the zeitgeist worth anything if anybody believes it?
Loads of people, Steve.
Well, yeah, because of why? Because of the boob tube.
Great swathes of the population in the Anglified world believe that their vote actually counts to some degree. Because if they realized it was worthless, they wouldn't bother casting it. But you get pulled into the media hype. Elections is like sports now or something like that. It's pretty ridiculous. But here's the thing. This is the point. I guess I've said it already, but it's like, okay, it's a great education. That's really what I'm trying to say. Like, understanding how the world does actually really work on a macro level, and seeing through all those illusions that you get inculcated through childhood, through parent, teacher, minister, as you grow up, until you break out of that. It is a great education. It's great to sit back and watch the madness. I'm just observing, Steve.
It's not great to sit back and watch the madness.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No, I don't like it one bit, but I guess that's why.
But how can we affect it?
I don't know. It's got to give you motivation.
By having the perfect cause, right?
I think you can, that's another point. You can use it as motivation to do the great work. It should be a motivating factor. The mess of of life on Earth in the cosmos. I mean, it's not all a total mess. There's some great, beautiful things about life, some great adventure and discovery that happens in life, but it's not all bad.
Well, everyone here listening to our conversation is feeling the same push-pull bullshit that each one of us is feeling. And I think the only thing we can do right now is to correct the thinking we have in ourselves about the world, and then transmute that into action and prove it just by doing.
Maybe people
be nice. Don't be like me yesterday, flipping out on some lady that's fiddling with my shit because I'm in a hurry. I take that. My lesson yesterday was, calm the F down, Steve. Try not to let the shit get to you. and that is the daily battle I have.
Yeah. Am
And
I?
I think we each have battles like that every day, and I think we are all here because we know that there's more to it than the daily bullshit that we're putting up with. Am I right? And we have to master ourselves, just like Cypher 9 just said. And, I'm far from a master of myself, obviously, because I can get worked up, and getting worked up is not helping me at all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jeffrey Ball, you need to, everything is going to get worse and worse and worse for everyone. Why have that attitude? Why even propagate that nonsense? Because why? There is no sense in it. Get busy living or get busy dying.
Here's the thing, right? Part of the resistance, the resistance to that kind of idea has to be like taking place in the mental realms, really.
Yeah, that's where it starts. You have to think about something.
It's not
before it becomes.
A few fucking look at anarchists. They always want to smash shit up, don't they? But they're always smashing things up. Anarchists. That's the thing. It's very egotistical to think that, well, you could do better.
Right.
But I still think it could be a lot better. In fact, no, I probably could do better. This is the thing, Steve. I'd be a shit king because I just leave the people alone and let them do whatever they want. They can do all their shit, And if they get in a scrap with each other, they'll have to sort them out amongst themselves,
Free will implies reality, or free will implies that the will itself is free. Very good.
I couldn't imagine being like Henry VIII, just going around being like, right, I own all this land. You all need to give me money now. I'm the king. Pay me. It's very, it's crazy, isn't it?
Menza, some people get emotional with hearing it, though. What do you mean? How can you not get emotional when somebody's telling you shit's going to get worse, worse, and worse? There's no other way. I mean, what kind of pessimistic bullshit is that? That's bullshit. If you have kids in this world, how can you have an attitude like that? That's bullshit. And people that keep propagating that nonsense are the people that, are enabling it. When you do that, you add to it, in my opinion. So.
No, there's I think there's got to be like a reconciliation between, when I see I think what someone might mean by that, I definitely think that for the individual's quest for enlightenment, I'm starting to think maybe it does become more difficult with time. As the cosmos goes on longer and longer, I think maybe it becomes more difficult, but there is more information about it available or knowledge available. I don't know. But it's hard to come by, really, isn't it?
The information overload is really, really, really crazy. But that same information is how we build our understanding, and we have to have the ability to discern which is right and which is off.
It's funny. Yeah, as soon as you said information overload, the first thing I remembered was that apparently, according to this study, by the time a kid reaches 16 years old in the United States, they've been exposed to 1 million adverts already, or something like that, in their lives. Even if it's just they go past it. Like,
Menza, are you one of the leader of the cabal? How do you know what their plan is? Really? How do you know who they are in the first place? That this whole mindset of they and them and us is just bullshit. There is no they. Even if they are evil, they are part of the 1-2, right? 1-2, 1-2. But yeah, guys, I gotta go. I'm gonna have to end this, and I appreciate everybody for coming here. And you've been awesome for that thought of mine for helping your mom. And I appreciate all of you guys. People do need to feel sad when bad shit happens, Walter. I agree. Suffering, pain, and death is a part of our reality. Right. And it contributes to separation when we say them, they, us. Yes, exactly. I am a human being. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. We are all here to learn from our mistakes, in my opinion. Experience is the only codes in the building, codes in the building. Hey, you got anything else to add there, Jack?
Well, I mean, with your the they them sounds like God. It sounds like we're talking about transgender pronouns or something. But anyway, my point is that I think that there's you got to be use discernment between what's relative and what's absolute with the whole thing. But my whole take on it all of all that, like the psychopathic control system in this world, my whole take is use it to gain wisdom and understanding and educate yourself. Really, that's the best way I can deal with it. Like, you know, what lessons come from that? What can my soul learn from this experience? You know, right? And be honest about my feelings. Be truly honest about my feelings about it. I think that's what I'm trying to say here. You know, like, it is what it is. It makes me feel this way. What can I learn? In 30 years, I won't fucking care anyway. I won't care about it when I'm dead either. You know, I really won't care. Maybe I will. Who knows? I don't know, Steve.
Right.
Are you still there?
I'm still here. You were choppy.
Yeah. You got anything to add to that?
Yeah.
Oh shit, was I choppy?
Yeah,
I was just talking about, like,
just at the end, though, I
letting-
heard what you were saying, how that, you know, in the end, this is you just wanted to get out how you feel about things, and
yeah, well, not only that, but just, you know, it's like alchemy, isn't it? It's like, okay, how this nonsense, how can I take it and remold it and turn it into something through my own creative magical ability? You know, it's not yeah, they're just the psyche of the things the outside world imposes on your psyche. How can you transform that into something, you know, lead to gold, baby? That's what I'm saying. And I'm sure if someone's in denial over it, or not being honest with how they really feel about it, then you're not going to be able to do the alchemical process with it, because surely it's part of wisdom and understanding. It is understanding how archetypal forms increasingly come back in a different form. You know, the same thing is going to be nothing new under the sun. It just comes back in different archetypal forms. That's it. You know, history shows you that when you peel back. So, you know, I think if you understand history, you've got a hell of a better chance of understanding the future. Definitely.
Right. I agree with that. And all we have is each other in the end. I mean, our connection is priceless when you think about what is there. What is there? I mean,
well, that's, it's interesting you say that.
Lies of our world are just going to be there forever. There's always going to be another lie, guys. Always.
Another life, did you say?
No, another lie.
Oh yeah, of course.
There's always going to be another lie.
Oh yeah, the lies are fucking.
They're going to be endless.
Evil people will never stop lying. That's what they do. They, I don't care what they. if someone lies, their word has no value. If your word has no value, then you're falling further into the realms of matter. It's actually quite tragic for the soul of the individual. But Edgar Casey talked about how, I think, he categorized the bardo corresponding to each of the different planets, each of the 7 bardo states. It's weird because you can almost like map it on the 7 kingdoms of creation as well. But he was saying how like there's the Saturnian afterlife realm, is where like a soul has to start again. And I think the phrase he used was God loves those that start again. I don't know how true that is, but I guess there could be virtue in that. You could be honest with yourself and be like, no, tear down your painting, throw out the canvas and start again. Do you know what I mean? But that's what that who was her name that Phil found? That girl, Kate the artist. She actually painted a picture of a human with a fresh canvas, and she said, "Oh, you just start again if it's not working for you." So
Right.
yeah, that's the thing. Humanity could do that collectively, just start again and go, no.
But that'd be too fucking easy, wouldn't it?
It would be too. Maybe that's the paranoia of the state.
No, I think
like that ants
it's
fighting back in a bug's life, isn't it? Like
I think it's our own convoluted way of saying, hey, we got to make a mountain out of molehill. Otherwise, we're going to get over that molehill real fucking quick and we're going to be bored.
Yeah. If it was down to me, I'd like let one psychopath in like government. I'd like you'd have to you couldn't have just one. You just have to have none of them, basically. I think it's quite sad because if you consider a dystopian future, this was the other thing I was saying to my friend Steve. I'll tell you this as well, and then I know you're going to go my friend was saying the government does what the public opinion demands it. And I said, yeah, but the public's opinion has been conditioned to demand what the government and those above the government want anyway. That's what and he was like, oh, my friend was like, oh God, yeah, that is true, isn't it? So
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if we live inward, search our souls, our souls are, your soul is my soul. We all have one soul. We're all receiving that soul, whatever it is. But I think if we search ourselves and love outwardly, nothing can phase us, nothing can stop us. And that's going to be the only way that we can get out of any mess. And sadly, if you watch TV, that's not going to happen anytime soon. So turn off the boob tube. And
if you watch TV without being unaware of the
right, true that. Even being aware, being aware, like me, I'll watch it and I just get frustrated when I see the shit that's going on TV.
I don't know. You can. It depends. You can watch a bit of TV every now and again. It's fine.
No, I'm talking the news
or something. But like, I just have your psychic self-defense up if you watch TV and avoid watching too much of the shit. But you can't like go on like a news channel and then start getting irate at the news that they're reporting about. But it's even news. There's no honesty in journalism. So what's the point?
Right.
Or very little honesty in journalism. So you might as well ignore it. Really, most of it.
Yes, and this is how the this is how the shit show plays out. I'm gonna mire in the shit, but I'm gonna come up smelling like roses. This is my plan.
You'll be all right, man. I guess just remember, it's all.
We all have evil within us. We all have good within us. What are you going to choose? That's the only question that we have to face. In the end, that's the biggest free will choice we have.
Yeah, there's varying degrees of that, though, Steve.
Well, yeah,
there are varying degrees of that.
To simplify it is there's good and there's bad. What are you going to be?
Yeah. That's got to be the there's polarity, and then there's the reconciliation to polarity as well. It's really like the magic of the number 3. That's what that means to me at this time, I guess.
Yeah, last night I was on Code's podcast and we were talking about the Trinity, and I had this mind slip where I didn't even I mind fart where I couldn't even bring up what I had realized what the Trinity is, and the Trinity is the abyss, the light, and what else?
The abyss. Isn't it like the light with the Trinity is like the Holy Spirit, which is the abyss, right? There's unity of God, which is like the ineffable state.
It's like the word Kabbalah.
And the other one is and then the other state is singularity, which is the inverse of the Holy Spirit, isn't it? It's like the collapse of matter.
Father, Son,
Very
Holy
weird.
Spirit.
Singularity is really the closing of the circuit from time to timeless, from time back to timelessness, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Very
And
interesting.
we
there has to be
are more than we think we are. So have faith.
It's true though. There has to be some point somewhere where
Yes.
time and timelessness have collided. There has to be.
And that's within us, I think.
Within everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. Very interesting, hey. All right, dude.
All right,
well,
bro.
Are you gonna get going? Yeah.
Yes. I gotta go. I gotta go eat because I'm getting crabby.
Are you getting hangry?
Yeah, hangry. I haven't slept much lately, and because I've been working my ass off and been sore, but working's kind of good because you get the frustration out that way, and you get lots of time to think when you're doing a mindless job.
Yeah. Oh, if I do it, I don't mind doing a mindless job because I'll just put like a Bluetooth headphone in and listen to something interesting, like an audio book or something.
Right.
Do that, man. Get yourself some Bluetooth earbuds and like put on, I don't know, anything on YouTube. But you gotta like put things on that are quite long, so you don't have to keep getting your phone out to slow your productivity down at work.
Right.
No, I try not to. If someone's paying you to do a job, you don't want to take the piss, do you?
Oh no, I work my.
I don't know. If I was working for a big fucking corporation, I wouldn't give a shit. But if
everybody I work for tells me to take a break all the time because I'm always going. It's either go or no for me. If I'm not there, I'm not there. If I'm there, I'm working my ass off. So
yeah, you got to discover your manual transmission at work, dude.
Yeah, right.
It's like a motor.
Well, my name is Manuel because I am manual labor.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah, all right, man. Cool.
Peace, chicken grease, y'all. Thank you for joining us. And sorry if I got a little worked up. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not frustrated by any individual. I'm just frustrated with the whole situation, as is everybody, I'm sure. So with that, we need to balance, and I'm gonna get over it, and I'm gonna try to my wife is bugging me to go eat, so all right.
Well, at least your wife's bugging you to go eat and she's not crazy, so
quit it, Jack. That's not nice.
Well, no, it is. Appreciate what you have, man.
Well, I do, brother.
No, I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying you personally, but yeah, nature is the biggest of all heartbreakers, is what I've come to realize.
Yes.
But that's it.
I love you, Jack.
All right, I love you too, man.
Don't be depressed, brother.
No, I always feel
depressed, but don't let it get you down too much.
No, I always feel better after we do a live stream,
Good.
Because you give me that as good. I don't want to say correct my thinking, but that sounds really weird and spooky. But
no, because it's
good to just bounce ideas off for me. I hope the people in the chat enjoyed it as well. So I think a lot of people in the chat really want to talk about the whole conspiracy stuff.
Well, they do. Everybody does.
They like really want to and
including me. I want to address it too, but I just know it's going to get us nowhere.
You can just learn it. Why am I trying? No, not trying to piss anyone off.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to piss you off. I just recognize the heartbreak of mental illness, you know.
All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go.